Okay, we're going to have a look at Crossroads. I'll explain it using some diagrams, then we'll go out in the car and I'll show you some examples. The crossroads is a T-junction with another one opposite. So there are a few more things to look out for. One of the main dangers being people emerging straight across the main road. As you approach on the main road, you may see this sign. The thick line up the middle means that you're on the main road and you have priority. So just look well ahead, check it's clear and drive on through. Turning left is a normal left turn, just check out the extra road while you're back here. And again, turning right is a normal right turn, just check out the extra road before making it. It can happen that you're coming along to turn right and someone else is coming along to turn right at the same time. So you can pass each other near side to near side or off side to off side. The near side is the passenger side of the car. More often than not you will pass near side to near side. So you'll have this car going in here and you'll have this car going in here. The advantage is that it takes up less room in the junction. The disadvantage is that you can't see what's coming along this road, especially if people are queuing up to turn right. So what you will have to do is creep forward slowly, looking into that gap, and then go when you can see that it's clear. The other way to cross oncoming traffic turning right is offside to offside. In that case you would have this car going in here and this car going in here. So you're going round the back of each other. The advantage is that you can see what's coming along the road before you make the turn. The disadvantage is it takes up more room in the junction, so other cars may have difficulty getting past. The easiest thing to do is just hold back, let the other car make the turn, or they may do the same for you. In some small towns and villages you may come across unmarked crossroads. These are crossroads that don't have any give-way lines, so cars will sometimes drive straight across, not looking, meeting in the middle. So if you're driving along a road and you see an opening at either side, just slow down, look and make sure it's clear before you go through. When you're on the minor road at a crossroads, priority comes into effect. Who's going to go first? In this case, this car will go first, because this car is going to cross its path. If you imagine that that's the main road and we put the lines in there, you would have to wait for oncoming traffic before you turned right. So to work out your priorities in this situation, just imagine that you are on the main road. If you're both turning right, as in this case, if it was a larger crossroads, you would just make the turn, keeping out of each other's way. If it's a smaller crossroads and there isn't enough room to do that, make eye contact with the other driver and decide between yourselves who's going to go first. It can happen that the crossroads is staggered. That means that the minor roads are not perfectly lined up. So in this case, this counts as going straight ahead, even though you'd have to turn the steering wheel to the left and then to the right. So you don't need a signal, just make sure you position your car so it is pointing straight into that junction. If the junction was a bit more staggered and the road was here, say, instead of here, you would have to signal left and do a left turn, and then signal right and do a right turn. The last thing we're going to talk about is the yellow box junction. The yellow box means that you must not wait in it at all unless you are waiting to turn right. It's there to keep the crossroads clear. So say you're going ahead from this lane, you would need to clear the crossing if there was one, clear the box, clear the crossing and be able to fit in here. Be sure that you can fit in here before you set off from here. Don't feel pressure from behind, because if these cars back up and you wait here, you will then be blocking traffic in this direction when the lights change. So make sure you can get all the way across. If you're going to turn right from this lane, say, if there are traffic lights when they go green, pull forward to your point of turn. Now you may turn at any time if you get a gap. If there's a yellow box and it's daytime, you're probably unlikely to get a gap because these are only put on busy crossroads. So what you do is you watch the traffic lights that are facing you, and if there is a filter arrow, a green arrow pointing in the direction you want to go, to the right, when the green arrow comes on, these are now on red, so as soon as traffic clears, make the turn as soon as possible. There may be people waiting behind you in the yellow junction box, so you need to clear it quickly so that they can get through as well. Okay, let's take a look at some in the car. I'm coming up to a crossroads. We're going to follow the road ahead. It's a giveaway line and a giveaway sign, so slowing down, clutching into first, make sure I check both ways, and then carrying on across because it's clear. I'm coming up to another crossroads where I'm going to turn right. You can see it's a stop line with a stop sign, so I must stop. So it's mirrors and signal. And then coming to a stop at the line in a position where I can see both ways. Now I can check that it's cleared, and it is. So making the turn. Here we're coming up to a crossroads on the main road, so I'm not expecting to have to wait. I'm going to turn left, so it's mirrors and signal. I'm just checking out the extra road from back here, checking out the oncoming car. Everything looks alright, so making the turn. We're coming up to a staggered junction. I'm going to turn left, followed by immediate right. So it's mirrors and signal left. Slowing down, getting into first gear, checking both ways, coming round slowly because now I need time to check the mirrors and signal right, turn at the correct point, and accelerate out of the junction. Here we are at a traffic light controlled crossroads. We've got some cyclists there. I'm going to turn right, so it's mirrors and signal right. Lights have gone green with no oncoming traffic, so quick glance around, and there we are.